And away we go here for Xbox Division 3.
Still wheel to wheel coming out of turn 19.
Tries to go down the inside of Desio. Desio giving him space, but not by much.
Oh, and he's oversteered, and he spun. They're side by side, off the track, neck and neck.
Good evening, comrades, and this week is Race 16, coming to you live from North America. This is PPR Esports. I'm Kermit.
And I'm Cosmo.
And we have an exciting race lined up for you tonight. Of course, PC Division 1, first season here at PPR Esports, race 16 of 21. We have seen plenty of action yet this season, and we're going to see quite a bit more, I think, in our closing races of the season here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our track. We have 27 laps total. We have a minute 29.8 is the fastest repeatable online lap time, set by Michael Romanitis. I don't know if that's how you say that, but that's what we're going with. So on this track, the softs are going to last 16 laps of your 27 lap race total, and the mediums 23 laps for your 27 lap total. A no-brainer would say that this is going to be a one-stop race. However, depending on when you stop is going to determine your running order. 19 turns, 12 to the right, 7 to the left. A track that's very hard to make passes at. Sometimes we'll see some fantastic maneuvers. Other times we can run into a dead spot during the race where the cars kind of have a running order. But I wonder which one we will see tonight. So Ferrari still sits on top with Rogue and Ruda. Just enough of those finishes in the points this season to keep them up towards the top. We have Kublai and Destiel, of course. Destiel with more first place finishes and more points alone. However, coming into Alfa Romeo only after Austria has gotten them enough points to bring them up to second, but not quite enough to usurp the mighty Ferrari at the moment. Kublai, his fair share of points into Alfa Romeo's total as well. Racing Point, we have third, and Some Idiot, one of the dominant newcomers to the sport this year. We have a bunch of first and second places here in our PPR league. What we love to see, hopefully we'll see something magical out of him tonight. I believe he RSVP'd. Yes, we should see him. Mercedes with Terry and Cream. Terry, a relative newcomer to Mercedes, joining, I believe, after Belgium, able to bring a nice infusion of points into Mercedes, helping them stay where they're at on the leaderboard. And as you'll see in our Constructors' Championship stack up, that they are very close. Renault, we've got Capital Hood and Persian King. We've got Red Bull, we have Stoney and Shea B. Plenty of points finishes between the two of them. They are contending for points with Renault, but Renault is kind of on an island out on their own at the moment. Williams, Dragonbone, and Red Hornet both with a disappointing week last week. Red Hornet not able to join us in Dragonbone with a did not finish. 2 races in a row for him that he has not finished. Hopefully he'll be able to pull one out this evening. Gore and Delirious. Gore, plenty of fourth place finishes, even a second place finish in there. Solid points finisher, but Delirious not able to hold up his end of the bargain for now, leaving Haas down towards the bottom of the tables. Dr. McShorty, a few DNFs and DNSs in the season, and Doc Balak with his fair share of them. Wonder if he will be replaced in the coming weeks here, keeping McLaren towards the bottom of the sheets. Toro Rosso, we've got Dedrum and Shazam. DNFs from Dedrum in 2 of the past 3 races, and two DNSs from Shazam in the past 2 of the 3. So bringing on to our reserves, we have a nice, healthy pool of reserves that we're able to dip into each week. We have them ready to go in case any of our full-timers can't make it. So as you can see, quite a few points scores there. So on to the Drivers' Championship. We have Some Idiot in first with 243 points. Destiel in second, 208 points. Rogue, 151 points in third. Cream with 136 in in fourth. Capita with an even 100 in fifth place. Gore, 87 points in sixth. Terry, 79 points in seventh. Stoney, 59 points in eighth. Kublai, 50 points, 51 if the league timesheet is to be, or standings are to be believed, but 50 plus or minus 1 point. He is in ninth. Persian King in 10th with 49 points, and he's tied with Dr. McShorty, also with 49 points, who is tied, of course, in 10th. Dragonbone on to 12th here, 46th. 46 points. Ketchum, 45 points in 13th. Ruda not far behind him with 41 points in 14th. Shay B, 29. Fluffy Dave, 26. Brownie, 25. Sky Archangel and Triton are tied in 18th with 22. Hammer Time, 21 points to himself. Red Hornet, 20 points. Just outside the top 20. Delirious and third, both with 6 points in 22nd. Dedrum, 4 points in 24th. Then we have Ramrod, Shazam with 2 points apiece, and Seize Up and Slappy McFloppy with a point apiece. The rest of the people on the list have yet to score a point. Hopefully, they'll be able to pull something big off before the end of the season, which brings us to our Constructors' Championship. Ferrari out front with 192 points. Alfa Romeo coming just behind them, only 2 points behind at 190. If Alfa Romeo has another showing like they did last week, and Ferrari has a slightly below average showing, Alfa Romeo could just take the top spot this week. And look at who's below them. That could also be said for Racing Point and Mercedes. Mercedes, ever since they got that infusion of points from their new team member, Terry, he's really been able to kind of keep them where they're at. They were starting to slide down the points, and hopefully he'll be able to bring them back up. So really, it's a fight for first right now. We have 4 teams all in contention for the first place spot. It really depends on what drivers show up and how they place. Renault kind of floating out just below Mercedes with 142 points. Red Bull 87 points in 6th. Williams 66 points is close with Haas at 64 points in 7th and 8th respectively. McLaren in the middle of an island with 43 points, and Toro Rosso way down at the bottom with 3 points. I'd like to see them get a few more points before the end of the season, but we'll see how that shakes out for them. So our fastest lap championship this season, we currently have some idiot leading the pack with 3 fastest laps total. Dragonbone, Capita, Hood, Destiel are all tied with 2 fastest laps each, and Rogue, Shay Gore, Terry, Sloppy McFloppy, and Seize Up all able to make the list with 1 fastest lap apiece. PBR Spotlight tonight, we're going to be looking at Kublai, Persian King, and Dr. McShorty. Persian King and Dr. McShorty, of course, are tied for 10th, and Kublai is in 9th with just 50 or 51 points, so 1 or 2 points ahead of them. Cosmo, what do you think of this battle between these, essentially battle for 9th?
So Kublai was 3rd after Baku this year, after he won in Baku, and he's kind of been falling down the leaderboard ever since. And I don't know, just his consistency has seemed to be a little bit off lately. I don't know if he hasn't been starting a lot of races or just, just finishing outside the points. I know in the last 3 races he's only got 1 point. And Dr. McShorty seems to be the opposite. I mean, he's been around 10th or 11th all year, but he's been very consistent getting into the bottom of the points. So I kind of expect to see him go up, Kublai go down a little bit more, and Persian King, has been about the same. He's been kind of consistent right in the middle. Obviously, the last 3 races only in 8th place to his name for points. So I think in the end, Dr. McShorty is going to come out on top. He just seems to have shown the most consistency over the last few weeks, but anything can happen.
So there you have it. That's the hot take. Kublai on a little bit of a downhill slide since the beginning of the season, but able to taper off recently. Of course, 3 very consistent drivers, and anything could happen tonight. Cosmos picked Dr. McShorty. I'm going to pick Kublai to come out on top tonight. Persian King, you will be for the fans. Persian King, fans are going to root for Persian King. I got Kublai, and Cosmo has Dr. McShorty. So we'll see how that battle shapes up. We'll keep a close eye on them tonight. So we have a very exciting announcement tonight. Those of you that already follow me and or Cosmo and our PPR Esports on Twitter already know we have a raffle tonight. What we are doing is, oh boy, so the keyword is just giving. Put just giving in the chat. That will enter you to win one of 3 games that are up on a poll right now on my Twitter page over at Kermit CSG. Go ahead, take a look. Look that up. You can look on PPR Esports. They retweeted as well. Go ahead and take a look at their Twitter. Vote for which one you want. And at the podium, we will do a raffle at the end for anyone who has put the words just giving, all one word, just giving, into the chat. We'll enter you for a chance to win one of those 3 games. It will be decided probably about halfway through the race what game it will be is when we will close the poll. We'll take a look, and at that point, we will decide what game it's going to be, and we will pull the name at the podium for anyone who has put just giving into chat. So go ahead and get that in there, or wait to see what it is up until the end of halfway through the race here. Thank you.
And speaking of just giving, again, PPR is doing a charity stream on June 27th, doing 12 hours at Silverstone in Assetto Corsa Competizione. It's in aid of Huntington's disease, and every $10 you give gives you a raffle ticket into winning a brand new sim rig.
Yeah, a very sweet deal.
And yeah, and that link is now, it looks like it's at the bottom of our, at the stream.
Yep, it's at the bottom of the stream. We'll try to get it in
posted.
chat.
It'll get posted in the chat at some point as well.
Yep, so be on the lookout for that. Every $10 gets you a chance to win a sim rig from, what company was that, Cosmo?
I don't remember.
Oh, we're going to look that up.
Pretty nice one. I should look that up.
Yeah, that is worth taking a second because they were so nice. So it's actually Simrigs. Simrigs is their name, and they... Simrigs.com. So that's sim-rigs.com. We'll try to get that up on the screen later. They were nice enough to donate the race rig as well as a Cobra Pro Steel frame seat. So get on over there, get donating. Again, every $10, one chance to win. We'll keep the keyword up on the screen for the chance to win tonight. If you want to get in on that, just jump over to the Twitter poll, vote on which one you would like to see given away, and say your piece.
And Funky Cactus does make a good point in chat. These are PC games that we are giving away.
Correct. Yes, that is very good. They are Steam keys to PC games. That is worth clarifying. I forget sometimes in our realm of PC D1 that other things exist. Sorry, Xbox and PS4 players. You are an important part of this community. All right, Hot Lap is what we are going to be doing next. It's going to take a look at what our drivers are up against tonight. Here we go.
Welcome back to PPR's Hot Lap and Setup Guide. We're on board here with Sloppy McFloppy as he rounds the final corner and will take us on a lap around Russia. Early on the throttle here, activating that DRS, drifting to the right to hit this inside curve ever so slightly, drifting out to the left now, up to 8th gear. Now going to want to brake just around the 100-meter board all the way down to the 3rd gear here, clipping that inside curve and the exit curve. Going to drift towards the middle in the inside now. Up into 7th gear, staying close to that inside curve but not touching it too much to upset the car. Getting to the left now, dropping down to 4th gear to bite in, cut that inside curve, use all the exit curve. Curbs here are very flat at Russia, so you're going to want to use all of them as much as possible. Down to 4th gear here, cutting the inside curve, pushing it out wide. All the way back up into 6th gear. Staying to the left now, cutting this corner as much as possible. Down in 4th gear, getting back over to the right and cutting this next corner as much as possible without invalidating. Pushing all the way wide. Up into 6th gear now, same thing, cutting this flat curve down in 4th gear, pushing wide off the track as much as you can, activating that DRS, staying to the right now for this not so straight straightaway. Drifting to the left now to approach this next hard braking zone, down into 3rd gear, cutting that inside curve, easy on the throttle through this section as the car can get unsettled, pushing it out wide, back flat now, cutting this inside curve down in 3rd gear, getting as close to the wall as possible here, and pushing it out wide. Back on the throttle now for the final 2 corners. Down to 4th gear to keep the momentum up, pushing it out wide. Cutting this final corner as much as possible down in 3rd gear. Back on the throttle and across the line. And that'll be a lap of Sochi on board with the Sloppy McFloppy.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's what our drivers are up against tonight. Now, if you want to see what setup that was done, what setup was used to run that fantastic hot lap, go ahead and hop over to our YouTube channel, which you're probably watching on already. Look at those videos. You'll see the setup at the end of those. We'll get you in the loop. So, Sochi, tonight, 19 turns. A little bit of a recap for those of you who are joining late. 16 laps on the softs, 23 laps on the mediums, 32 laps on the hards, and 27 laps total for the race. So, a one-stopper, Cosmo. What do you think about that?
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
The only reason I'd see stopping more than once is like a late, well, I was going to say late safety car, but I think safety cars should be turned off this week because of the safety car glitch we've been experiencing a lot of trouble with. So really it'd only be if someone busts up your wing or you bust up your wing.
Yep.
that anyone would need to make a second pit stop, you know?
Yeah, so damage will be on, but yes, the safety car, I believe we have turned off this week. So right before we head in to qualifying here, which is already underway, go ahead and hop over to our Twitter page, vote in the poll to see which PC game you would like to see given away at the end of the night on the podium. Go ahead and hop over there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into F1 2019. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, what you have waited for all night without sound. Let me turn that on quick. Oops. There we go. Now what you have waited for. So we already have quite a few lap times on the board. Let's take a look. Everyone on the soft tires, that could mean a rain race. That could also mean that the softs just last so doggone long here that they feel no reason to change them whatsoever.
Yeah, I'd like to see some rain around here. Make this track a little more interesting.
I can agree with that. As we mentioned at the beginning of this race, it's, I wouldn't say boring sometimes, but sometimes it gets a little dull. And I think the reason for that is just partly is the track. There's not a whole lot of elevation changes. There's not a whole lot of extremely good places for overtake. But part of it...
There's so much curb, too.
Yes, that's true. So I think that's, if anything, going to be something that plays a really large factor tonight. Is just about every single one of the curbs that doesn't have a wall behind it, you can put your car over and not really unsettle the car. So I think the amount of time penalties we're going to see tonight is going to be pretty large. So drivers will have to manage those well in order to keep themselves out of the, basically into the points and out of trouble down in the lower position. Take a look, quite a few drivers on a outlap as Brownie sets a hot lap at a 130.9. Current session leader is some idiot with a 130.8. Some idiot now starting his hot lap. Let's ride along, see if he can go faster. Now into turn 2. Turn 3 is that shallow left-hander. Turn 4 is going to be this long, sweeping. Can't really call it a hairpin because of how fast it is. Like, you know, call it horseshoe, maybe, and then into turn 5. Ran a little wide there, so you can see it's easy to invalidate a lap. I don't think he did that.
I think it did, at least on my screen show.
The colors are supposed to mean something, but he's still in 5 for most.
I don't know. All the other glitches in this game, I wouldn't be surprised if that feature doesn't work either.
One of the trickier turns coming up here in Russia, turn 15, hard braking zone, as you're trying to turn to the left and you cut in across the apex, and it turns out it's a chicane, so you gotta maneuver that complex. But other than that, the other chicanes here, like this one, are nothing that you can't really find in another track. It's relatively straightforward. As some idiot comes into this.
Must have been validated.
Must have. So Deciel will be next to cross the line. Next in the top 5 to cross the line, and then Capital Hood and Stone. Let's see what Deciel is. Nice line for turn 14 here. Turn 15, a little bit of understeer. Doing well to manage it and keep himself on the right side of that boundary.
We've got a new driver in Ferrari today.
Thanks for joining us this week. Haven't seen him before. Tiger Woods. Always good.
Oh, Deciel into the wall!
Deciel.
After he set the time? No, he's the fourth line. No, that is after the line.
So 130.10 for Deciel. I'm not sure that he improved this last one. Certainly didn't improve his position. Down to Capital Hood here. Who is currently in pits? We have Stoney. Looks like is currently on his hot lap. Currently holding down the 6th position. Not sure is interested in it. Another spotlight on him. Next couple of corners here for Stoney. Crosses the finish line and doesn't represent position. Stays sixth with a 1:32.2. Creamy John's a driver we typically expect to see somewhere around top 5. Squeaking in the top 5, sometimes he's been higher than that. Brownie, a relative newcomer, has put up quite a few points so far. He's been showing that he does have pace around this track. He does have the 1 lap pace around the track, but it remains to be seen whether he has race pace. If I remember right, in past races, he had very good showing, but struggled a little bit with the pace.
We've got a comment in the chat that says the game is a little loud.
Thank you for letting us know.
Creamy
go
John comes across the line into 6th at the 132 flat.
Creamy John's with a nice time. Unfortunately, I cut away to change the sound just as he was coming across the line. But the time still remains 1:32.0. Knocks Stoney out of that 6th place position and into 7th. Weeb Destroyer, we'll call him Weeb for short, is currently on a hot lap. Just finishing the horseshoe here.
So we got Nick Moore saying it's beautiful and Sprightly saying he can't hear us.
According to my levels, it looks like...
So now maybe that was the problem, was the game was a little loud and it was just a little bit late coming in.
Oh, hopefully. Nick
Hopefully
Moore...
that's better, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Looks okay on my end. Of course, we always rely on our chat for valuable input here. Just finishing out turn 15 for Weeb here. As he flies down into turn 18, or the wannabe Lesmos. Across the finish line, able to improve to a 1:31.7 into 6th place, knocking Creamy John's, the newly seeded 6th place runner, down to 7th, and Stoney further down the tables into 8th. Alright, we're going to split the difference. Oops. There we go. Alright, that should be somewhere in the middle, so we should be able to hear the game yet, and hopefully hear us as well. Stoney on an outlap, going to go ahead and give it another shot with 2 minutes left in qualifying.
I think now is about the time you have to go out if you want to get your last lap in.
I didn't see the end of Weeb Destroyer's name. Is it Weeb Destroyer Ruda? Oh, so that's Ruda.
Oh! I didn't see the end of it either.
That's amazing. No, I didn't. So that's Ruda.
That's funny, man.
That's fun. All right, so Ferrari not as in a bad a position as I thought they might have been. Does have one racer here tonight. Rogue not able to join us, but Tiger Racing filling in for him. Of course, Tiger Racing's point will go towards the Drivers' Championship, but not the Constructors' Championship, as he is not a full-time member on Ferrari at the moment. Remember to take a look at the top left-hand corner of your screen. Keyword just giving. Go ahead and type that into the chat. We will be giving away a copy of either Project Cars for PC, Dirt 4 for PC, or NASCAR Heat 4 for PC on the podium. Which one we give away is up to you. You have to go over to our Twitter page at PPR Esports on Twitter. Take a look at our poll there. Put your input. We have 12 votes. We have 41 minutes, so the poll will close before the end of the race. However, so about partway through the race, we will know what game we're going to give away. And then you can throw your name into the hat in case there's one of those you're hoping for more than the others. Currently, Dirt 4 for PC is in the lead. NASCAR Heat 4 trails it at 33%, and Project Cars bringing up the rear at 17%. Brownie on a flyer of a lap. Capita Hood, that's the best he's able to do with a 131.2 as the session ends, and Ruda with a 131.7 and 6. That's the best he will do. Dr. McShorty, Tiger Racing, and D-Drum all lock in their times for the end of the session. We will be looking for, I believe, a Red Bull to cross the line next of Shea B. Shortly behind him, it's either Kublai or Dastio. I believe it's Kublai. It is. So Kublai just behind Shea B, sliding out a little bit, coming out of turn 15. Shea B able to pull well ahead. Shea B rounds the last corner, and Kublai runs a little wide, decides not to set that time. Let's go ahead and look behind him for the McLaren of Brownie. We will see if he improves at all with a 131.9. Renault Persian King comes across the line with a 131.6. After him comes Destiel. Solidifies his time with a 131.9. Some idiot is in the pits. Creamy Johns looks like to be one of the last to cross lines. Goes fifth fastest with a 131.4. Nice lap from Creamy Johns. Gore into the pits.
What is that? 2/millionths of a second between Brownie and Destiel there? Or 2,000ths of a second, rather. Sorry.
Between Brownie. Oh, yes. Wow. Yeah. Down to the thousandths of a second for our second place. So, starting on the front row, Brownie just edges out Destiel. Should be a good race between them. Of course, our trio to watch during the race of Persian King, Kublai, and Dr. McShorty. Yeah, those were our three. So, currently, Persian King way out ahead. Qualifies in 6th. Kublai in 11th. Down there with Dr. McShorty in 12th. We will see how they're able to increase their position from there. So, there you have it. Some idiot will be starting on pole. Brownie joins him on the front row. Destiel in 3rd. Capita in 4th. Creamy Johns 5th. Persian King in 6th. Gore in 7th. Weeb Destroyer Ruda is 8th. Stoney 9th. Shea B 10th. Kublai 11th. Dr. McShorty, Dragonbone, Tiger Racing, and D-Drum rounding out your top 15 here. Let's go ahead and take a look at Weeb Destroyer Ruda there. There we go. We've got him here tonight. So, he is a Ferrari team member. He will be scoring points for Ferrari. Brownie is not a McLaren team member. Some idiot is on Racing Point. Destiel's on Alfa Romeo. Capita's on Renault. Creamy Johns is on Mercedes. Yeah, so it looks like Mercedes is going to be pretty well positioned tonight. They at least had both drivers show up, and they're relatively towards the top currently. Or did I say Mercedes? I meant Renault, I think. But because Capita Hood and Persian King both able to place in 5th and 6th, or sorry, 4th and 5th, up there in the points, they'll be starting from very good positions. If Renault's able to hold on to those points, then they will be able to bring home a nice haul tonight, potentially up Renault in the standings. So for those of you just tuning in, go ahead and take a look at the top right-hand corner of your screen. That's our keyword for tonight. We are doing a giveaway for one of 3 games, either Project Cars, Dirt 4, or NASCAR Heat 4, all for PC. All you have to do to determine which one it will be is hop over to our Twitter page and give us a follow while you're over there, and then vote. Go ahead and vote what game you would like to see us give away on the podium tonight. Again, the poll will close slightly before the podium, so you will have a chance to get in at the end after you know for sure what game it will be. Raul brings up a great point in the chat today as our drivers are on their formation lap. 455 subscribers for PPR Esports. We are ecstatic about that here. And it's worth repeating. So we're doing a giving away tonight. Keyword just giving. However, if we get to 1,000 subs before our premiere race at Abu Dhabi, our finale race, which it looks like is going to be a 4-way fight for the Constructors' Championship, we will give away a fresh, minty fresh copy of F1 2020 for PC, because PC D1 is the way to go here, ladies and gentlemen. Also worth a shout out to our other racing leagues. We got PC D2 races at the same time on Wednesdays. We got a bunch of Xbox leagues tomorrow, anywhere from 7:30 Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. Tune in for that. PS4 League meets on Thursdays, and Friday we have another division of Xbox. Go ahead and tune in for that. Excuse me.
Did you say you were giving away a PC version of F1 2020?
Yes.
Because I imagine we could give away whatever copy of, whatever console that person has.
Yeah, you're probably right. Nothing's set in stone. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. I'll make sure I send out an update via the Twitter. So go ahead and follow me on Twitter, KermitCSG. Go over there, take a look. You'll find me. Let's go ahead and get our spectator menus all set up here.
It's one of those things, like we have game keys for the games we're giving away today, but
that's true. We don't have that one.
Purchased yet, so we could give away, a PS4 or an Xbox copy if someone were to win a copy and have that console.
That is true. I don't
Not
see
a
a reason we couldn't do that. So yeah, there you have it. So we'll try and do just about any. I gotta make sure there's an easy way to do it for PS4. I think there is for Xbox, but gotta make sure it doesn't necessarily involve driving to store. But as we speak, our drivers are pulling up to the line. As we start, our lights are going to turn on here, and then we will be away at Russia this week. And the lights are out, and away we go as our drivers get away from the line. Some idiot with a commanding lead down into turn 1 gets just ahead of Brownie. Brownie not going to let him have it that easily, going to try and fight for that position down into turn 2. Down the inside, the Haas really sends it. The Haas of, I didn't see who that was. Would have been Gore. Gore really sent it down the inside there. Luckily, our front runners came off pretty much unscathed. We still have some idiot, Brownie, and Capita Hood. We got a virtual safety car. Oh boy, I don't know if... Oh, that might be an option, to put on virtual safety car as opposed to full safety car. Not sure. So we will see how the safety cars treat us tonight. But always a little gun shy here in PC League.
Yeah, it's been rough the past couple of weeks with that safety car glitch. Very frustrating, to say the least.
There you have it. Very consistent gaps between a lot of our drivers on the field here, and only one 1-second gap has formed, and surprise, surprise, Destiel is the one to have caused that. Currently, some idiot, Brownie, and Capita Hood all running at the front currently.
Destiel down to 6th from 3rd place, and Persian King down 2 spots.
Destiel must have gotten caught up in that turn 2 debacle there.
Yeah. And it looks like Stody and Shea B got off pretty well, both up 4 and 3 spots respectively.
Yeah, they came off pretty well, able to gain some positions. Gore, of course, didn't come off quite as well. We'll see if he has to pit this time around. Of course, virtual safety car is gone, and we are back under racing conditions with just 6/10 between our first and second place, 8/10 between second and third, and another 8/10 between fourth and third. Fifth place dropping behind ever so slightly of Stone.
Tiger Racing into the pits and Dr. Shorty into the pits.
So do you think you go to hards here? Hards theoretically can go the whole race length and then some. So do you use this as your pit? I guess without a full safety car, and the tire strategy might be mitigated a little bit. However, I don't think it's bad. There we go. Dr. McShorty, Tiger Racing both decide for the hards. Gore has yet to be seen. Looks like he's coming out on the mediums.
Yeah, and I think that's why you want to start on the softs, because then you could at least, you got a shot of being on one of the faster tires to the end if you have an incident.
Virtual safety car. Looks like Persian King lost his whole front wing here. Gonna have to trundle around pretty much the whole trail, at least all of Sector 2 and Sector 3 to get back to the pit lane. Try and sort himself out here.
Oh yeah, he has got no front wing at all.
Still under the virtual safety car. Interesting. Virtual safety cars, of course.
Virtual safety car.
That is true. So we are back to race pace. DRS is enabled. This is going to be one interesting thing to see throughout this race. Stoney and Shea B. Looks like Shea B. Oh, who are we passing here? Creamy John's falling down in the pits here. Looks like Persian King into the pits as well. Maybe going to try for the hard strategy. Of course, Persian King had to swap out for
You should be able to almost take mediums to the end from this point.
Yeah, medium's rated to go 23 laps. That would get you to 26. So it would be close.
Looks like he is going with a set of mediums, as is Creamy John's.
Capita Hood looking like the main hope for Renault at the moment. Still 1 second off Brownie, falling just outside of DRS range.
Brownie's doing a good job to stick close to some idiots, as some idiot goes a little wide.
Looking at our drivers, spotlight drivers, Kublai currently leading them in 8th. Dr. McShorty quite a ways down in 12th, and Persian King unfortunately at the bottom in 15th right now. Just had to pit for a new wing, new tires, falling down the track. So Persian King at this rate will lose his standing in tied for 10th with Dr. McShorty. However, at this rate, neither of them are going to score points, and Kublai will be able to squeak out ahead of them just a little bit.
And the top three set 3 fastest laps. Some idiot goes fastest, then some Brownie, and then Capita Hood to cap it off.
All of them pushing each other.
Fastest lap.
Capita Hood just flirting with that DRS zone.
Yeah, and if he wants to stay with these two, I think that's where he needs to be. 'Cause it's very, very easy to start to take away if you got 2 guys in the DRS and 1 guy out.
Brownie just creeping up on some idiot here, able to close by tenths. Capita sitting at 1 second even for a period of time there.
This is probably one of the best passing zones here for Brownie. Just not close enough this time.
Yeah, if he's able to do that every lap, though, I have to imagine sooner or later Brownie will get through. It's whether or not he can keep it together to get it around the track another 23 times.
Yeah.
Capita Hood able to close that gap while Brownie and Some Idiot are battling. Capita Hood only a half second behind. Destiel clawed his way back up to 4th, is going to try and put in some hot laps here as Capita Hood sets the fastest lap with a 1:35.5.
There goes Some Idiot.
Some Idiot getting passed by Brownie.
Roll asks if Some Idiot has some wing damage, and it doesn't look like it. He looks like both his end plates are there. Gotta wait for a better view. No,
Yeah.
it looks like his wing is fully intact, so it must have been a lot of wheel-to-wheel contact. Not that that matters in this game, because the damage model's not particularly great, but
Speaking of damage models for video games, a game with a lot different damage model is Assetto Corsa. Oh, as Capita turns it sideways!
oh, that's a shame.
Coming out into turn, what was that, 9 there? 9 to 10 really caught him out. Capita only losing 1 position, 2 positions of that so far. Kubele is going to look to capitalize on that as well. Unfortunate spin from the banana boat. Slipped on that banana peel. Went right around. Destiel up into 3rd. Now 4 seconds behind Some Idiot. Some Idiot 6/10 behind Brownie. Capita Hood with a really good run up into that point. Unfortunately sending it around as Dr. McShorty gains a 3-second time penalty.
Brownie now is the fastest lap. 135.148. He starts to pull away from Some Idiot a little bit.
Yeah, 8/10 between Brownie and Some Idiot. The gap between Some Idiot and Destiel in 3rd right now is remaining relatively consistent. I would have expected Destiel to start closing that gap. Being as strong of a driver as he is, he's really able to put in some hot laps when he needs to. But that gap just doesn't seem to close. Even 5 seconds is going to be hard for Destiel to close on Some Idiot, or apparently Brownie at this point, because Brownie having a fantastic race. Capita Hood not giving up quite so easily after his spin. Currently in 5th, 3/10 behind Stoney.
And I don't want to speak for Destiel, but I think if we get him in the interview room and we ask him, you know, how he feels about Russia as a track, I don't think it's going to be one of his favorite tracks. 'Cause, yeah, his pace just does not seem great here like it does on other tracks.
Capita staying glued 3/10 behind Stoney. Going to take full advantage of every DRS opportunity he can. Stoney goes a little bit wide, is going to lose a little bit of time to Capita, but still stays well ahead.
And just a reminder, there are only 24 minutes left to vote on Kermit's Twitter page for the game we are giving away tonight.
As Capita goes down the inside, squeaks just by Stoney. Stoney's not going to let that position go quite that easily. It's going to be a fight for Capita. Both drivers on the soft tire, 6 laps old. Pretty evenly matched as far as grip on the track goes. Doesn't really happen until you don't see a shift in tire strategy until you get down to currently 11th place, now 10th place for Creamy Johns, making a pass on Dragonbone, because Dragonbone is currently in the pits. Gore making the pass on Dragonbone as well. Doing well to bring himself back up the standings after an early incident going into turn 2.
Kubele staying pretty strong up in 6th. A good showing on the medium tires, which are the slower of the 2 tires being run right now. I guess a couple guys out on the hards, but yeah, that's where you want to be if you're on the mediums. Is, you know, within a couple of seconds of the guy in front of you. That's ideal for the early strategy of a set of mediums. Now they should start to come into their own as the softs start to die off a little bit.
Capita 6 seconds behind Destiel here. Keep an eye on Kubele with those mediums. Currently leading our PPR spotlight tonight between Kubele, Persian King, and Dr. McShorty. Kubele is way out ahead, poised to pull ahead from Dr. McShorty and Persian King if
Capita
he
with a
places this
3-second
on.
penalty.
Oof, Capita. Unfortunate for him. Stoney's got to be loving that, though. As Stoney, a little bit of understeer.
And that'll be good for Dashiell because it looks like Capita Hood is starting to put a little time onto it. Maybe not. Still back to 6 seconds.
About 6 seconds, but Destiel certainly isn't putting any time on Some Idiot. Currently, Some Idiot and Brownie both using each other's, well, I guess Some Idiot using the DRS to pull well away from Destiel.
Yeah, and Brownie just seems to be faster and all around here than Some Idiot by just a little bit, and Some Idiot seems to be able to keep it in with the DRS. But I imagine if Brownie can break the DRS of Some Idiot here, we might see him pull away a little bit.
I think the DRS is just enough to keep Some Idiot in it for now.
Kubele with a 3-second time penalty.
Let's go ahead and take a look at Stoney here. Stoney seems to have most of his wing intact, so it must be a low.
Ooh, and Dr. McShorty and Persian King fighting down in 12th place, or for 12th place. Dragonbone right behind both of them.
Creamy Johns with a 3-second time penalty. Currently still clear of Gore by 9 seconds, even with the penalty. But a lot can happen between now and the end of the race. As we got a Williams goes down the inside of Dr. McShorty there. Dr. McShorty comes off worse. A good battle for 13th going on here. The 2-lap old mediums versus the 7-lap old hards. The hards out in front as the drivers seem to touch a little bit. That was either a bollard or a wing that went skittering across the track there. Looks like both drivers still have the wing. Must have been a bollard. Dragonbone not giving up the position. That easily runs a little wide, but is going to stay glued to Dr. McShorty. Both drivers pass Tiger Racing. Looks like he had a bit of a moment there. Or wait, no, he was... that's where he was. Persian King in 12th. Dr. McShorty slowly catching up to him with Dragonbone at his heels as they go too wide. As the running order seems to settle down just a little bit. Creamy Johns gains a few points with Shea B into the pits currently. Shea B's throwing on some medium tires.
I think we're about to start to see the pit window open here now for those mediums. Softs only got, 5-6 laps left.
To be clear, what he means is the softs are going to be running down, so it's the pit window to change onto the mediums. Mediums will last pretty comfortably to the end of the race here as Dragonbone gets a 3-second time penalty.
And I wonder, it looks like Brownie might be going in now, and not Persian King, Some Idiot is going to follow him. So we'll see who can get out of the pits faster here. Dashiell is going to follow him in.
We'll see if
So
there
is
is a
Capita Hood.
shake. The McLaren's out first by a wide margin. Some idiot slots in just behind him. Stoney gonna find himself leading the race, Craig.
Kublai, oh, never mind. Kublai's pitted already.
Kublai has 10 laps on those mediums yet, though. So while he has pitted, he would have to make those last to the end of the race, and I don't know if he's going to be able to hold up to Brownie, Some Idiot, and Destiel on new mediums.
And Brownie gains about half a second in that pit stop there. So now we'll see if he could hold that gap and keep Some Idiot out of GRS and maybe start to pull away on this medium stint, or if Some Idiot can find a little bit of pace on these mediums now that he didn't have on the softs.
Ruda, the Weeb Destroyer, into the pits. Comes out in 13th. Destiel with a 15-second gap between himself in 5th and Some Idiot in 4th. Destiel just doesn't seem to have the form this week that he has in past weeks. Normally we see him contending for 1st or 2nd spot pretty much every week, but this week it just seems that Some Idiot and Brownie have been that much further ahead, able to put time on him pretty much every lap. Currently, Stoney and Kublai with their call of tire strategy have found themselves ahead of Destiel as well.
Stoney into the pits.
And as I say that, Stoney heads into the pits. It'll be interesting to see whether Kublai takes those mediums to the end or not. He's got 11 laps on him. We have 15 laps to go. That'll put 26 laps on him, and they're rated for 23. So, possible, but he'd really have to treat them nicely. And at that point, is it worth it to just go in for a set of softs, put in some hot laps, and really try and hold on to basically a top 5 here for Kublai? I think is looking really nice for him.
Yeah, I think so.
I think if I'm Kublai, that's what I look to do here, is I want to pit relatively soon, give me a pair of softs that are going to go 16, 17 laps or so. I'm going to set in consistent lap times, and I'm going to stay ahead of Destiel. A 4th place finish for Kublai would be huge here.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll quite have that pace, but we will see on the softs.
Because now is about the time where you got to make the call. Too much longer on these 11 lap old mediums, Kublai is going to slip down to Destiel. Or excuse me, he's going to start losing time to Destiel, and then it's going to be too late to make the call if he wants to pit. Brownie absolutely glued to the back of Kublai.
Yeah, I think if I'm Kublai, I just kind of let him by on the straight if I get a chance, because yeah, I think it'd kind of ruin your own race if you don't, you know. The question is, will Some Idiot get through? Does not look like it. And that'll be good for Brownie. Some Idiot has now gotten into Brownie slipstream, or not slipstream, GRS window. Some Idiot just cannot find a way around Kublai right now.
Dietram into the pits, deciding it's time to change out his old softs. See what tire compound he moves on to next.
I would hope it's set mediums.
Some idiot coming up on Kublai here.
And it must have a time penalty. Something, because he's just sitting in the pits.
Some idiot struggling a lot to pass Kublai here. Brownie played that extremely well. He passed Kublai in a very nice part of the track, which then made it very tough for Some Idiot to pass him immediately following that. So Some Idiot now trails 2 seconds behind Brownie.
Brownie with the fastest lap too, so that'll help him out as well. Can't put a hood ever so slowly starting to creep up onto Destiel here. Now a little bit over 2 seconds behind. Creamy Johns picks up another 3-second penalty. Now, it looks like our two drivers at the front also both have 2 warnings, so keep an eye out for that. Both very close to a 3-second time penalty.
Yes, the 2-second gap that Brownie's been able to put on some idiot could be undone by just one more corner cutting, or running wide for that matter. Dragonbone making up time on Persian King here. He's going to look to use this DRS to his full advantage. Persian King with a little bit of lag there. 3-second time penalty for Stoney. Multiple warnings. Brent cuts his lead ahead of Gore in half, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think now, as you were talking about Kuble before, now is kind of like about that time to pit for him. He's lost about 3 seconds to Destiel since you said that.
Yep. Here comes the cliff. So if Kuble doesn't pit now, well, now, or I would say within another lap, he shouldn't pit.
Yes, doesn't he? Did he pit once already?
I think he pitted once already, being on
I
lap.
thought he started on the mediums.
Very possibly.
Because they're on lap 15, so they've done 14 laps.
Dragonbone bumping Persian King in the back there. Both drivers able to keep it under control.
Yeah, Kuble has not pitted yet. He is the only one on track.
Gotcha. Yeah, I suppose I can see that, huh? Yep, there it is. Everyone with a one-stop. Creamy Johns with a 3-second time penalty.
That's his third one already.
Dragonbone tries around the outside. Persian King can't quite make it. D-Drum picks up a 3-second time penalty. And we have Ruda in the rearview mirror of Dragonbone here. I didn't even see him. But currently, I gotta switch because I messed that up. But there we go. Ruda following behind Dragonbone. Dragonbone with a little bit of a lockup, gonna leave the door open for Ruda. Ruda squeaks it through as Brownie picks up his 3-second time penalty. That's exactly what he didn't want to see.
No, and now he's kind of got to hope some idiot makes a mistake somewhere along the line.
Some idiot's got to be feeling good about that. With a 2-second interval.
On that yet.
Well, that's fair. It's definitely not bad for him.
No, but I'm sure he'll be asking Jeff in a few laps about time penalties in front of him.
Kuble still has not pitted. 15 laps on those mediums. Starting to fall down the timesheet. I think he's missed his window.
Yeah, lost almost 6 seconds.
It can be tempting to want to stay out on your current tires, especially when you feel you've got pace. But if you just start seeing that car, especially immediately behind you, start creeping up on you, you really need to pit. Kuble may understand. Kuble, I don't know that he's necessarily used to racing directly against Destiel, although Destiel is his direct teammate. Normally they're not, right next to each other in the standings. So Kuble may be under the false assumption that all of his time is being lost because Destiel just has pace, where I don't think that's the case. For quite a while, Kuble was able to keep the gap to Destiel pretty even. Alright, as a reminder, there are 7 minutes left on the Twitter poll. Hop over to PBR Esports Twitter page. Vote on what game for PC you would like to be given away on the podium tonight.
It's like you're reading my mind. Just about to say that.
Of course, as you can see at top right-hand corner, is the keyword Just Giving, all one word. Just, then Giving. Smush them together, type it into chat, and you will be entered for a chance to win either Dirt 4, NASCAR Heat 4, or Project Cars. Currently, Dirt 4 for PC is in the lead. with 50% as Dragonbone tries to make a move on Persian King, looks towards the outside. It's a pretty good run. Persian King, I don't know if he's expecting him to be there. Runs back wide. Dragonbone, take a look on the inside now.
That's an interesting point on the track to pass.
Yeah, you don't always see drivers able to find a door at that point. Typically, Capital Hood with a 3-second time penalty cuts his lead in half to Creamy Johns, although Creamy Johns, I believe, has a time penalty as well.
9 seconds per time.
Creamy has 9?
Yeah.
Oh boy. So Creamy is in a little bit of trouble. He's currently just ahead of Gore, but in danger of losing out to Gore if he drops too much further back.
Dragonbone picks up 3 seconds. And since that penalty, Brownie has been putting in some laps. He's extended that lead by about 0.6 of a second to 70, or from 70 yet. Really looking to stay in the lead and win. I believe it would be his first PPR win if he can get 3 seconds ahead and stay there.
Yes, yeah, he has not had a win yet, and he's able to put the half-second on so far. See if he's able to do more by the end of the race here. Shaping up to be a good race. However, that is provided that some idiot does not make another mistake himself. Some idiot is just one warning away from a 3-second time penalty on his own.
Correct.
Kublai finally into the pits. Gonna lose at least 3 spots. Excuse me, at least 2 spots. Death Steel and Capital Hood coming up here. Creamy Johns passed him as well. That was a huge gap. I don't think there was a need for that pass to happen. And Stoney. Oh man, those were both relatively large gaps that I just don't think needed to happen. If he could have pitted probably 4 laps earlier, he very possibly could be in 4th right now.
At least 5th, I think.
At least 5th. That being said, of the 3 drivers in our driver's spotlight tonight, Kublai is doing the best by far. The other 2, of course, being Persian King down in 10th, finally able to get himself into a points position. Has to defend it from Dragonbone for the rest of the race, though. It looks like Dragonbone's getting ready to make a move as Persian King runs him wide. These 2 are going to be battling for a while. That is going to open the door possibly for Dr. McShorty to close that 7.5 second gap behind Dragonbone.
Yeah, and as those mediums start to get a little older, Kublai picks up a 3-second penalty there.
3-second time penalty for Kublai will now put him in 8th behind Gore. Gore, after the incident, looked like a lockup going into turn 2 very early on. Is able to claw his way back up to effectively 7th now with Kublai's time penalty. Creamy Johns, 9 seconds worth of time penalties, is in danger of falling to Gore as well. And Stoney has 1 time penalty. Time penalties galore for Russia tonight.
Very easy track to cut corners, especially when you have to take so much of the curb here to be fast.
Yeah, that's just it. Pretty much every lap here, you're just skirting that line between corner cutting and not. And I know that may sound like you should do that at every track, but for Russia, there really is no punishment for taking as much curb as you possibly can. And what I mean by that is in a lot of other tracks, the curb has some geometry to it. It's either shaped like a bubble, sometimes they're called a sausage curve. Basically, it has some geometry to it that will unsettle the car if you go across it. That just doesn't happen here. Here at Russia, the Olympic Park that we're set up in doesn't really have much grade changes because, well, it's supposed to be a large sports stadium where triathlons, people can come and watch inside the buildings, other sporting events, right? Like it's just set up to be a big event space. It's not really set up to be one of these tracks that kind of conforms to the landscape like you would expect to see at Spa or even Austria for that matter. Oh, and Creamy Johns goes around. Currently off the track, going to get passed by Stoney, potentially going to get passed by Kublai as well. Creamy Johns with his 3-second time penalty Mike or Creamy Johns with the 9-second time penalty is not going to benefit from that at all. Definitely puts him behind Gore currently, and Ruda is now in a chance to potentially take 8th place from Creamy Johns, believe it or not. Kublai with a great view of what's going on with Stoney and Creamy Johns right now. As, ooh, Creamy Johns, I wonder if he's missing something. Yep. Read my mind.
No, it looks like his wing's all good. Maybe just hot tires are a little hot.
Could be. Always something you're worried about doing at a track with this many turns when you're battling alongside drivers for this many laps. Twitter poll is about to close, ladies and gentlemen. Hop over to PPR Esports Twitter page to get your vote in. We have 1 minute left on that vote for what we will be giving away on the podium. Currently, Dirt 4 is in the lead with 6 votes.
Brownie into the pits. Oh, a safety car. I guess the safety car has not been turned off for this race.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The podium may be coming up faster than you expected. The safety car here, we just have to hope and pray that it goes as planned. Both Brownie and some idiot into the pits. That makes sense. They were able to get ahead of, or into the pit before they hit the safety car here. Looks like we have, it's that Dedrum now back on the lead lap. When Dedrum comes up to the safety car, he has to pass it. I hope he knows that.
That's very,
Good.
very bad for Brownie. With his 3 seconds.
Yes, Brownie with his 3-second time penalty. Some idiot only 1 warning away from getting that time penalty. Brownie would do well to give the safety car an abundance of space. It seems like all the issues we've had in the past have been with the safety car all of a sudden jittering back a few places and immediately disqualifying the people it teleported behind. So we will keep a close eye on the safety car here as we slow down. Oh, Brownie doing a little bit himself, but ultimately okay. Typically the game responds to better to drivers changing position than it does to the safety car being out of position. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The poll has closed. We will be giving away a copy of Dirt 4 for PC. It will be a Steam key at the podium of the race today. Go ahead and just type just giving, all one word, into the chat.
And while we got the safety car going on underway, it'd be a good time to say, don't forget about the June 27th Just Giving charity stream. That's why we've chosen that keyword tonight. On June 27th, PPR is doing a 12 hours in Silverstone and a Assetto Corsa Competitive Zone in aid for Huntington's disease. Every $10 you can give to the cause gives you a raffle ticket into a chance to win a what is it, a sim rig?
It's a sim rig. There is the rig itself, which is the structure piece, which is surprisingly one of the more expensive parts of a sim rig, right, is the actual frame itself. Then you have a very nice seat that comes along with it, and that is from our very, very generous sponsors here, simrigs.com.
And there's the link in chat for you guys.
The link to the Just Giving page, for every $10 you donate, you will get 1 entry to win a sim rig. Go ahead and check out the link. You'll see what you're able to win. And of course, join us in June for our 24-hour race. There we go. All right, sorry, had to look away for a little bit here. As our drivers queue up back behind the safety car here. Destiel is currently disconnected. He is AI at the moment. I don't know if that shows up just for pause screens as well. Ooh, Dragonbone with the 5-second time.
I see that when I look at Capita Hood, it shows Destiel to be an AI. Oh, now he's back in, it looks like.
Yep, and he's back. So good. Destiel was able to reconnect. Hopefully he'll stay that way through the safety car restart.
So I guess we did have safety cars on tonight.
Yes, so the safety car is on this evening. And so far, it's going swimmingly. No word from the safety car being in this lap yet. However, I would not be surprised to see it in this lap.
Yeah, I think it usually stays out for 2 laps and goes in on the 3rd, but it is kind of late in the race.
Yeah, so every once in a while, it'll cut that a little bit. Cut the safety car's duration just a little bit to try and get more racing in. Much appreciated here.
The lights are still on, so I think it'll stay out for 1 more lap.
We've also had it where the safety car won't go in before. Let's hope that's not happening here.
Well, I haven't seen that one, I don't think.
Yeah,
Although, you know,
that happened in PCD
every day you play
at
this
least.
game. Every day you play this game, you see a new glitch, so...
That is true. So looking forward to F1 2020, which reminds me, if we get 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel before the end of the PPR season, we'll give it to the end of, let's see, it'll probably be...
That Friday, I think, is the last race for...
Yeah, the Friday is the last race. So I can promise at least Monday. We'll get a date settled this next week on when we're going to do that. So we can get in on that. That one I think I want to have a little bit more substantial giveaway. We'll,
Oh, and Kublai with a 5-second penalty there.
oof,
corner
not
cutting.
good. I think Dragonbone had one before him. And right now, as you can see, all the cars are kind of lumped up on top of each other. 5 seconds puts you darn near at the back of the grid.
Yeah, and Raul, as some of you guys may or may not know, is Racer 33 in PC D2. It is saying safety car is for sure going to be off when he runs the D2 race on Wednesday.
Yeah, poor Raul there has had to deal with more restarts than I can count in PCD2. Just stressful for everyone. It's stressful for the racers, especially the person putting together the league, having to redo the positions, you know, and no one likes to see a race ended that way. So until we can consistently get races in, or it's addressed in a patch notes, PCD2 has decided to turn the safety car off.
Yeah, and I think it's for the best. What is it? It's almost been 3 races in a row, hasn't it?
Pretty close too, where it's either been affected by, at one point, either restarted by, or something.
Safety car in this lap.
Yep, or it actually caused a restart.
So we will have 4 laps of racing for you guys after the safety car comes in.
Then, on the podium, we will be giving away a copy of Dirt 4 for PC. It'll be a Steam key. So go ahead and make sure you type "just giving" all one word into chat. You can type it as many times as you want. It will not disqualify you. Don't worry, that is not on. So if you're not sure if you put it in there again. Hop over to our Just Giving page as well. Get yourself signed up for that sim rig we're giving away at the end of June.
And hopefully, if our schedules work out, Kermit and I will be taking a shift on that as well and doing some commentating for...
Brownie rounds the last corner. The drivers head
I just
down
see-
into turn 1.
DRS enabled?
Interesting to see DRS enabled so quickly.
I don't think that's true. I think that maybe just showed up, because there's no way.
Capita Hood keeping the gap pretty consistent behind himself and Destio. Brownie, of course, with a 3-second time penalty, has got to put 3 seconds on some idiot to maintain the first position. He even has to put another probably 2 seconds on Capita just to get ahead of him.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's rough to see a late safety car like that. Oh, and he picks up another one.
Ooh, Ruda with a little bit of drama back in Sector 2 here. Looks like he went around. Let's get a good look at his wing here. Missing both end plates. A little bit too late in the race to pit for a new one. I'm not sure it's going to matter unless Persian King, who's in 14th here, is dropping back as well. Unless he is, yep, Persian King completely missing a wing. So we might get a little bit of a race between Ruda and Persian King for bragging rights at this point.
I think Persian King has to pit, whereas Ruda, I mean, that is some wing damage, but missing 2 end plates around here shouldn't be the end of the world, you know?
No, he can get around it, so he might as well save the position on
Like,
not
Persian King has nothing. That
Persian
is-
King passing D-Drum under the virtual safety car. I wonder what it's going to think about that. Or maybe just as it ended there. Gore into the pits, slipping down. Looks like Persian King's going to be following him. D-Drum into the pits as well. And Ruda decides to pit as well. Oh, Ruda with a 5-second time penalty. Ooh, Ruda has left the session. 5-second time penalty. Did him in there. Decided he was done.
No.
D-Drum up to 12th.
Tiger Racing, who has had a very, very quiet race at the back, is now into points-paying positions as Shea B has a time penalty.
So Tiger Racing would be doing well to talk with Jeff currently, as we have a flag in Sector 1. Doesn't look like for anything too serious. We're going to continue racing. Oh, just kidding. There we go. We have Kublai into the wall. Our front runner of today's PPR Spotlight unfortunately gives it all up, and Dr. McShorty now becomes the front runner. Creamy with his 9 seconds worth of time penalties at this rate is going to be entirely out of the points. Gore creating quite a gap, so Creamy might just drop down to 10.
And Tiger Racing, if he could stay where he is looking to possibly move up into like 6th place, as he has no time penalties and everyone else around him has at least 3 seconds, if not more.
Wow, very consistent
Oh.
race from Tiger Racing. Going to be the dark horse. Brownie with another 3-second time penalty.
And yeah, that's going to just drop him all the way down the field pretty much.
It's going
9
to drop him
seconds.
down to 5th at least. Dragonbone doesn't know it, but he could be battling for 5th right now. I'm sure not
Dragonbone
without
has
his
like
own.
9 seconds penalties.
All right,
at
so
least.
maybe not.
9 or 12.
So Tiger Racing, you're right. If he stays where he's at, has a lot of positions to potentially be gained here
It's
tonight.
headed down the inside of Shea B here to turn 1, or turn 2 rather.
Oh, Shea B squeezes him, but Tiger Racing gets some really good wheel-to-wheel racing done here. Tiger Racing eager to get past him, but doesn't, I think, realize the gravity of the situation he's in. Really, first and foremost, don't cut any corners, Tiger Racing. Capita Hood up here, glued to the back of Destiel, only 4/10 behind. Looking to make up that time in the next few laps here. Brownie, the 6-second the time penalties as Capita Hood runs just a touch wide. Yellow flag, Sector 1. All cars seem to be making forward progress, so we're going to hope we stay racing, and we do.
Looks like Dr. McShorty has got, oh wow, a lot of time penalties. 10, 19, 22 seconds worth of time penalties for Dr. McShorty right now.
Wow. So, 22 seconds on from Dr. McShorty. Persian King would still fall behind him. So, as of right now, Dr. McShorty is winning our spotlight after the unfortunate accident from Kublai putting him into a wall. Creamy John's creeping up on Capita Hood on track, but with his 9 seconds worth of time penalties is going to have trouble taking any real positions. Tiger Racing all over Shea B. Shea B not making any of the passes easy, trying to take home as many points as he possibly can from Red Bull. Stay B and Shoney. Oh, and as he goes down the inside, Tiger Racing, very nice exit. Let's see if Shea B is able to catch up. Shea B dropping back. If Tiger Racing is able to put any time on Stoney here, he's really going to be looking, potentially passing Creamy. Tiger Racing, I think, is up into 6th.
He should be up into 5th already.
Capita Hood with a 3-second time penalty.
And maybe even now, that's not going to be still quite enough to pass Capita.
Yeah, but as of right now, with Brownie with his 6 seconds, he's down in 4th. So Capita gets bumped up, then with his 3 seconds goes down. All we know is Tiger Racing's looking pretty good, but we're not sure where everyone else lands. Some idiot, however, I believe is our provisional poll, should be running without any current penalties, but one warning away from.
Both him and Destiel.
Yep, as we go around the last few corners here, be sure to type "just giving" all one word into the chat for your chance to win Dirt 4 for PC. As Brownie comes across the finish line, he's going to finish. Some idiot is immediately going to leapfrog him. Let's see where Destiel comes. Destiel goes ahead as well. Destiel into second. Capital Hood crosses, stays fourth, doesn't drop to Creamy. Let's see if he drops to Dr. McShorty. Dr. McShorty stays sixth. Dragon Bone stays seventh. Stony leapfrogs up into seventh. Tiger Racing with a huge jump up into sixth. Fantastic finish from him. Shay B solidifies his position in ninth. Dragon Bone in 10th. Persian King seemingly gonna cross in 11th. However, is in a very close battle with Gore here, I assume.
Oh, he is still driving without his wing. Well, that is impressive to drive with no wing around here for that. Oh, never mind. He did pit.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think he's got quite a bit of wing left on there.
I missed it. It's all black, and so is the inside of his car.
Persian King crosses the line. Gore just behind him. D-Drum is coming around the final couple corners at the moment. Crosses the line. Make sure to get it in the chat. Just giving. For your chance to win Dirt 4 for PC, we are going to do the drawing in 30 seconds here while we're on the podium. Congratulations to Some Idiot. A fantastic race win from him today. Destiel with the second place. And unfortunately, Brownie, with his chance to win first place, drops down to third with his time penalties. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the countdown. We're going to be drawing in 3, 2, 1. Congratulations to Melanie Hayes, wins the copy of Dirt 4 for PC. Melanie, go ahead and message me on Discord would be the easiest if you have that. If not, reach out to me on Twitter, YouTube if you can. We'll go ahead and get you that key. Congratulations, Melanie Hayes, on the copy of Dirt 4. If you got someone, if you can't use it yourself, find someone you can give it to. They maybe can use it, or we can always let it ride, send it on to next week, and we'll do another raffle thanks to Melanie Hayes next week. Up to you. Congratulations, Melanie, on the copy of Dirt 4. Please get in touch with us. We'll get that to you. Some Idiot, congratulations on the win tonight. Destiel in second, Brownie in third, Capita in fourth, Creamy in fifth, Tiger Racing in sixth, Dr. McShorty in 7th, Stony 8th, Shay B 9th, and Dragonbone rounding out our top 10. Persian King, Gore, D-Drum, and Kublai, Weeb Destroyer rounding out our 15, Kublai, and Weeb Destroyer Ruda, both with DNFs tonight, unfortunately for them.
And a race like this just really shows how keeping your nose clean and staying out of the penalties can really improve your race. I mean, Tiger Racing was racing in what, like 14th for most of that race?
Yep. Yeah, Tiger Racing, Some Idiot, and Destiel, all fantastic examples of just keeping your nose clean, stay out of the penalties, and the positions will come.
All right.
Wow, so there you have it. That is Russia tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That was a pretty good race. Russia, you never know quite what you're going to get out of Russia, right? Sometimes you're going to get a lot of passes. Sometimes you're going to get some on-track action. Other times it's going to fall a little short. Tonight, I think we saw a really good mix of action from our drivers. Of course, we saw Dr. McShorty come home and take the win for our PPR spotlight tonight. Congratulations for him. We have, I think, fastest lap was Capita. However, we'll have to watch that back. Add it to the official standings, and we will update our fastest lap standings as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at our chat here, see if any of our drivers are able to join us.
Looks like Some Idiot is already in voice chat.
Perfect. Looks like Some Idiot is in chat. I'm going to hop over there. Cosmo, if you could try and get Destiel, and then, of course, Brownie over there. I'm going to go ahead and start with Some Idiot.
All right.
Some Idiot, congratulations on your win at Russia. How do you feel?
Well, you ever heard of the saying, better lucky than good?
Yeah.
That was me today. I'll say that.
No, that's fair. The time penalties from Brownie out front really hurt him this race. It seemed like you had 2 warnings yourself. You were poised for a 3-second time penalty yourself. Were you worried about crossing a line at any point?
That was definitely my concern. I want to say I picked them up both in the... Picked up one in the first stint, one in the second stint, but as soon as we got the second warning, I was thinking, okay, about the only thing I have to my name is I don't have a penalty. So in the second stint, I was just trying to conserve and make sure I could maybe protect and get around stay around 3 seconds of Brownie. Maybe I have a chance still. That safety car saved me. But it kind of brought another issue is everyone's bunched up together, and I knew Destiel didn't have any penalties, so it was like, if I pick up a penalty, Destiel's got this.
Yeah, so as much of a blessing as it was to get back that close to Brownie, it was also potentially a curse, but you did a very good job of keeping it on the correct side of the line, not picking up that extra penalty, not picking up any penalties. One of 3 drivers to do so in the race, yourself, Destiel, and Tiger Racing, who actually was catapulted from 11th up into 6th.
If I could say something about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good job for Tiger Racing. That's a good drive from him. I think that's driver of the day in my book.
Yep, absolutely. I would agree with that. Tiger Racing, driver of the day.
If I could, I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. Brownie should have won today, man. The penalties is just a one-off. I really just did not. I didn't, like I said, better lucky than good. I just tried. I felt like my fronts were falling off about 5 laps into a tire stint. He really would have deserved that, Brownie. Destiel would have deserved it too for keeping it a clean race. If it had so played out, I just wish I had a little bit more and could have made it a better fight up front for you guys. Make a better show.
Yeah, well, that is all right. We still had a pretty good race, as it was the safety car always throwing a wrench into the works. And speaking of, well, all right, there we go. Speaking of Destiel himself, he's just joining us in the chat. Destiel, congratulations on the podium, the second place finish.
Thanks.
How do you feel about that one? Could it have gone better? Would you have done something differently? It seemed like your finish was pretty solid, able to stay out of the penalty points, which is really what solidified that second place for you.
Yeah, I was just trying to keep it on the tracks. Didn't have much pace here, so guessing it's Russia, a lot of penalties, so at least I could get the podium.
Yeah, I like the strategy. You kept a nice level head throughout the race. We were watching your gaps pretty closely. I'm expecting you to be up towards the front runners. We didn't see you pull away at any point. However, keeping that level head, keeping it on the inside of the lines, right, not taking those penalties really worked out for you well today. So congratulations on that.
Thanks.
So we have, let's see, any closing thoughts on Russia for you tonight, Destiel?
Wait, hold on. You hold on. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, you can.
No, never mind. Sorry.
Go ahead. Didn't have that much pace to start with, so congrats to some idiot or Cody.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be looking for big things from you next week, Destiel. So on to our third place finisher, our first place runner for most of the race, Brownie. How do you feel after that?
Good about the pace. But too many mistakes, so yeah, but it was fine. The safety car was a bit problematic for me.
Do you think without the safety car you potentially would have maybe gotten second or even first?
Without the safety car I wouldn't have needed to push that hard.
Sure.
So
that's fair, because your pace was great all night. We saw you out front, able to stay out front with that commanding lead. Just unfortunate those few corner cuttings you had put you behind.
Yeah, I mean, I was close to the 3-second gap before the safety car, so I wasn't sweating. But after the safety car, I was sweating a lot.
Sure. Yeah, always nerve-wracking when you have your closest competitors running up behind you. However, I have to say I've been really impressed with your debut here in PPR. Some fantastic finishes so far. I think we've got a lot left to see from you this season. Hopefully you're able to stick with us. How are you feeling about next week?
I don't know. It's really late in Germany, so I can only race when I happen to be awake.
All right, that's fair. So for our sake, I hope that you drink a lot of coffee next Monday, so you're able to stay up with us.
Yeah, it's not Monday for me, but
oh, that's fair. I guess, yeah, all the way around the wheel for Tuesday. My goodness. But that is fair. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight, Brownie. Congratulations to all of our first 3 finishers, Some Idiot, Destiel, and Brownie. We will look forward to seeing you next week to bring the fight there. Thanks again, guys.
Bye.
All right, thanks.
All right, jump back in with Cosmo here. Just for some final thoughts on the race, Cosmo, how do you feel about that?
It was intense. I was not expecting safety cars. I thought we were going to have those turned off. Glad we didn't. It made for an interesting race, especially since it didn't end the race early.
Yep, I totally agree with that. It's safety cars add so much to the race. You get a race that basically you look like you know the finishing order halfway through the race, to all of a sudden this cutthroat racing that with time penalties make the difference between, as we saw, 6th place and 11th place.
Yeah, crazy. And that was an excellent drive by Tiger Racing. Just keeping his head down, keeping his nose clean. And then the safety car comes out at the perfect time for him to switch to softs, for everyone to switch to softs, and just take it home for a 6th.
Yeah, it was a fantastic drive from Tiger Racing tonight. So before we sign off and leave you tonight, want to mention a couple of the things we've mentioned throughout the stream. Of course, keep an eye out for our other racing leagues tonight. Or excuse me, this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we got racing in F1 for all of them. Keep an eye on our PPR Esports Twitter, there, our YouTube page, and join the Discord. Link is in chat. To keep up on our current events, we have Assetto Corsa leagues, Assetto Corsa Competizione leagues. We have more than that planned. I think an iRacing league is in the works. Always love to have plenty of the racers out here. You want to get out here, you want to stream, go ahead and join us in Discord. It's all a really fun group to be around. Come join one of our leagues. Run some laps with us. We'd love to have you out. Other things before we wrap up tonight, keep in mind, June 27th, we have a charity stream. I'm going to put the website up on the screen right now. There you have it. www.justgiving.com/fundraising/PPR Cup. For every $10 that you donate to this charity, you will get one entry into a raffle for a sim rig from our sponsors at simrigs.com. Thank you to them. Go ahead and get there. It's going to a great cause. Throw in $10. You might win, just like Melanie did in the chat tonight, won our PC copy of Dirt 4. Congratulations to you tonight, Melanie. Thank you everyone in the chat for joining us. Big shout outs to Sprightly, to Raul. Nightbot always holding it down. We had Essox stop by. We have, I saw Nick in there at one point. We've got Henry, Funky Cactus, all of our normals, and James Trotter earlier in the race. Thank you everyone for joining us. It has been a great night tonight. Thank you for joining us at race 16 in Russia. This has been PPR Esports. I am Kermit.
And I'm Cosmo.
And you have a great night, everyone.
Have a great night, everyone.